beautiful people! Thanks so much for clicking this video. Can you guess the character we are gonna be talking about today? That's right, the one and only La Reina del Arte, Frida Kahlo. We are diving a bit into her really tragic story, her love, her passion for art, a fashion icon, and just what an interesting character she was, alongside many amazing artists back from that time. Frida Kahlo was shoulder to shoulder with many of them, so her story may entangle with many other names, so you will hear them there and there, and I won't be able to explain all of them, but maybe in another video we can go deep dive into them. For example, obviously you can't talk about Frida without talking about Diego Rivera, so buckle up, let's start with that. Showing you a little bit about this ensemble that I put on for the outfit, and also I noticed that I didn't had any earrings, and I found that definitely not. So this is the full look now with the earrings on, which I think they match perfectly. Frida was born in 1907 at Mexico City, and her life was not a quiet one. At just being a teenager, she survived a very tragic bus accident that, well, I don't want to be too graphic, but let's say one of the tubes from the bus impaled her from, I believe it was from here, all the way down to her cushy. And she will later recall that was her first experience, like sexual experience, just to grab a little bit of humor in such a horrible situation. She was just a kid, like a teenager, and she suffered that accident, so clearly you get super traumatized by that. She still survived miraculously, and she had to have 32 surgeries throughout all her life, a lot of them based from this incident, which is honestly very tragic. But that pain and that situation led her to discover a passion that will change and influence the world of art, especially in Mexico. So she began painting because she couldn't do anything else while she was just laying in bed. She once said, "I paint myself because I am often alone and I am the subject I know the best." It's quite tragic and deep, but also led to these beautiful portraits which she loved to talk about and just merge them with so much heavy symbolism. We obviously need to talk about the love. Her love life, she was very controversial character, a lot of love to give. She actually met Diego when she was like very young, so a little bit, you know, how these things were. But nothing happened, like they just met and she fell in love with him as in like an artist. So it was some sort of idol. And then when they re-met, like I think 22, that's when the sparks of love began. And it won't be a normal, quiet love. Just as her life, it will be loud, it will be chaotic, it will be toxic, but full of passion and full of inspiration, full of art. There's no doubt they were obsessed with each other. They both love each other so much, but each of them took, let's say, side quests also in their love journey. So it was no secret that both of them had a lot of affairs, especially Diego. He was known to be a special person in the love department. Some will say how. I mean, I'm not gonna judge, but maybe it was just this artist aura and how amazing he was that he was just a magnet for the ladies. Also, maybe he was very bright. I'm sure he was. So, you know, that's how he wooed them. As for Frida, such an interesting character. She also wooed a lot of people. Some of her lovers here in the screen I will show you. Yes, she was bisexual and quite an icon. Now, Frida's parent and heritage comes from Mexico, but also Germany, and that's somehow how she could come in terms with it, addressing this very culturally and trying to grab into some root. But also, like in the two Fridas, you can see one of them being very European and the other one being more into the Mexican culture, and the duality of it all. She will plasm a lot of her heartbreak from Diego and the chronic pain she suffered, and you can see it on these paintings. Frida's paintings, like I said before, were hella symbolic. I'm talking about monkeys, bleeding hearts, random stuff, very, very sad abortions, babies. She really wanted to be a mother, but due to that accident of the bus, she couldn't have a baby. Real landscapes, all metaphors for her physical and emotional suffering. Her work blends realism, surrealism, and Mexican folklore. And she wasn't just an artist. She was a fashion icon. Everyone started to notice, and I think it's very important for an artist to, gravitate towards an image, because that's usually what people hold on to a lot. Yes, your art can be amazing, but it's also about your persona. I know some people say don't let you be the center more than your art, but honestly, bullshit. Everybody knows if you're a very interesting character, that will make everyone talk more about you, gravitate more towards you, make you even more of this icon, and by association, your work will also be grand. Because yes, your work could have been really, really good, but in a sea of amazing artists, in a sea of really beautiful art, take notes, because being a character of your own will be in the end what, makes you that status of icon. She was a feminist, yes, a reason why also a lot of men or people in general don't like her. They would say stuff like her art is ugly, she was ugly, which no, fake to all of that. She was her own beauty standard, and honestly very beautiful. I don't know what people are talking about also when they were criticizing her. I think by now we can agree beauty comes in every shape and color, and her staple were definitely her bushy unibrow, but I wouldn't say they were completely unibrow, but she will have these bushy eyebrows, and the mustache that she let it happen, like she wouldn't like take it off or anything, which yes, slay queen, I mean, why not? Frida died so young, only 47 years old. The pain was just too much, all the sickness that came from the accident, complications after surgery, it was just too much. She died but left behind this legacy, honestly, 140 paintings, and inspire generations to embrace their identity, the flaws, everything. She's such a symbol of resilience, art, culture, and rebellion. Oh yeah, Frida Kahlo isn't just someone you will see on tote bags and shirts, because now she became this I guess just a symbol for feminists to use. She was more than that super complex character. She was a force. And honestly, I felt so good dressing up as her. Obviously, these are items on their own that I use a lot because they are so beautiful. As for the relationship with Diego, when they met, he was already established, famous artist, a muralist. Everyone gravitated towards him. He was large, he was big. I think people started calling them the elephant and the dove because of the contrast between them, like such a big man and such a tiny woman together. It was a power couple on their own. He was loud, brilliant, larger than life, and Frida, well, she was fierce, fiery, and totally unafraid to match him. But here's the tea, they were both serial cheaters. Yeah, I mean, I would totally contributed more towards Diego's nature and how that pushed Frida into also doing it, because I mean she loved him too much, but she couldn't just stay arms crossed and be like, yeah, sure, cheat on me, right? So yeah, that was her statement. Well, the sane healthy thing would have been, leave girl, leave, but you know, artists. And you wanna know the tea? He cheated with her own sister. Her sister! Clearly, she was heartbroken, angry at both of them, and left him. But just like any telenovela, she came back and remarried him because they couldn't stop loving each other. This toxic passion love can be seen all throughout her works, like for example here where she painted Diego in her forehead, kinda just telling everyone that's all she had in mind, Diego. In the two Fridas, one is heartbroken, clearly from him, and the other one is trying her best to keep herself together. Diego once said Frida was the greatest artist of our time, and despite all the drama, he was right. Their love was a battlefield, but it also made them both immortal. Thanks so much for watching, hope you learned a little bit about her and made you interested into deep dive into such an amazing character, an artist, her work. I have to admit, when I was younger, I didn't really like her art. I thought it was too much, like too strong, too raw. I just didn't vibe with such colors. And then as you grow up and you learn about the story of art, the symbolisms, everything that it represents, also talking with the point of view of the artist itself, then everything clicks and you get to appreciate more about them and their art. Now it's completely different. I really appreciate her work, but more than anything, I'm just in love with who she was, her character, and her whole persona. I think for me that's more of everything. Like, she was too big, too big, and we can't deny the force of an artist that she was. So really I invite all of you to search more about her, to discover her world and this beautiful artwork, the symbolism that it represents. And if you are in Mexico City, don't forget to pass to her studio, the many houses she lived with Diego Rivera, and also we will talk in other videos about him too, because what a character. So what do you think about the video? Please like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see more, and you can leave in the comments which other persona do you want me to talk about, dress up, and have fun together. Maybe we can learn something about a new character. I heard you, and on the past one about Louis XIV, I saw that some of you said that you will want talk about Jeanne d'Arc. But yes, definitely, I would love to talk about them too, because I love history, I love dressing up, and I love silly videos. So, thanks so much again. See you until the next video. Hasta la próxima. Adiós.